Injured an ankle a couple of days ago, didn't play yesterday. Will he play today? Well, the word is yes, but how long he can go is a big question mark.
Taking a look at the pitchers, a couple of right-handers. Eric Schmidt will go for Wake Forest, a 6-0 record, 63 strikeouts in 64 innings this year. Could be a top draft pick. For South Carolina, one of the killer bees. It'll be Peter Bauer on the hill for the Gamecocks.
And we've got starting lineups and the first pitch of today's big game coming up on CSS.
Network currently available only to Comcast and Charter cable customers. CSS delivers hard-to-find programming for the serious sports enthusiast. College baseball, football, and basketball. The best in minor league baseball and hockey. Put yourself in the middle of the action as CSS brings you entertaining highlights, informative interviews, and the best in Southeast sports coverage. CSS is unique Comcast Charter programming and your source for sports in the Southeast.
Springtime, and that means the 2000 Men's College World Series returns to Omaha, Nebraska. Don't miss the best teams in college baseball slug it out at Johnny Rosenblatt Stadium, June 9th through the 17th. For tickets, call 402-422-1212. That's 402-422-1212. Or log on to NCAAChampionships.com.
Bauer, the large item at 6'7", 245 pounds. Faces the second hitter, Aquilani. Jason Aquilani takes a strike.
Bauer, an outstanding pitcher. You're going to see one of the top pitchers in all of college baseball. 12-1 record this year.
Swung on and missed. 0-2 for Bauer. Didn't take him long to heat up.
No, it really didn't. Not today. Temperature soaring near 100 degrees. You know, the killer bees, Bauer, Bachnight, and Barber, a combined record of 36-3 for the Gamecocks.
0-2 pitch to Aquilani, and it's outside. 1-2. Aquilani hitting .295. Deeks with a team batting average of .317 as you get a good look at Peter Bauer, the junior. Pitch is a bit high, evens a count at 2-2. Bauer, a 3.07 ERA, has struck out 90. 33 base on balls, thrown 111 innings, given up 105 hits. Bauer's 2-2 pitch. Breaking ball, misses. It's full at 3-2. This is Charlie Mack Alexander with Jeff Jacoby. Glad you joined us for what we expect to be an outstanding baseball game. The SEC against the ACC. Pitches there, swung on, hit hard. Here's Myers' throw from short to Kelly, and they're 2 down. So Bauer goes 2 up, 2 down.
Drew Myers, shortstop, one of the top young players in the country. You'll be hearing a lot more from him as his career in Columbia continues.
Myers just been named by Baseball Weekly as the freshman All-America starter, second-team All-ACC player. Out of Charleston, second-round draft pick of the Los Angeles Dodgers. Told Tommy Lasorda no, said he wanted to come to Carolina. Folks here mighty glad he did. Fastball on the corner. Rochelle to shortstop. We're looking at an 0-1 pitch. Rochelle, a first-team All-ACC player. He'll step out.
Got off to a good start yesterday with a 2-for-5 outing in their win. Had a run scored and an RBI in the game.
Bauer will wind and chunk it. Out to corner. Beautiful pitch, 0-2.
Bauer may want to get that curveball down just a little bit. A little bit up in the zone right there. If he was looking for it, he could have drove that ball into right field.
Rochelle started every game this season. Pitch from Bauer, swung on and missed. Strike 3. This place is already going nuts. 3 up, 3 down. And we'll go into the Carolina first. Scoreless.
Sports Southeast, a regional sports network currently available only to Comcast and Charter Cable customers. CSS delivers hard-to-find programming for the serious sports enthusiast. College baseball, football, and basketball. The best in minor league baseball and hockey. Put yourself in the middle of the action as CSS brings you entertaining highlights, informative interviews, and the best in Southeast sports coverage. CSS is unique Comcast Charter programming and your source for sports in the Southeast.
That's fine. Welcome back to Columbia, South Carolina, going into the bottom half of the first after Peter Bauer mows down 3 straight Wake Forest hitters, Sullivan, Aquilani, and Voschel. On the hill for the Demon Deacons, it will be Eric Schmidt, senior righty, 2.53 ERA, second team All-ACC player. He hasn't pitched for a while.
No, he hasn't. And behind him defensively, behind the plate, will be Dan Conway. Corey Slavic will be at third base. Chase Voschel at short. Aquilani at second. Athos at first. In the outfield, Price, Sullivan, and Brackley as Wake Forest gets their first opportunity on the defensive end this afternoon.
South Carolina 53 wins and ranked number 1 in America. One of the 3 polls this week. There's a look at Schmidt once again, and we gave you his stats. Record at 6-0. Wake Forest comes in 40-18-1, coached by George Greer. 13 seasons at Wake. This crowd here, if you had us in the first ball game, we told you that there would be a lot of folks here. Still a few empty seats, but just give them time. It's only 8 minutes after 3 o'clock here in the Midlands. And there is a breeze kicking up. I don't think anything can really stop them from coming here, though. Over 105,000 had turned out to watch the Gamecocks here this season. Nate Janowitz will lead it off. Senior, second team All-Southeastern Conference outfielder. On the corner, 0-1.
Great table setter for the Gamecocks. Gets on base a lot. Good, smart base runner. Will steal a base for you occasionally. Does a nice job for the Gamecocks.
One of the many junior college bandits on this team. Swung on, fouled out of play, and Janowitz goes down early, 0-2. Janowitz hitting .340.
For those of you who are football fans, Janowitz has a great uncle who was a Heisman Trophy winner at Ohio State, Dick Janowitz.
Ever see him play?
My dad blocked for him.
You're kidding.
No. Played at Ohio State for Woody Hayes.
0-2 pitch. Outside misses. It's 1-2. Janowitz has started 60 of the 62 games so far. 85 hits, 5 home runs, 44 RBI. Excellent fielding outfielder. 1-2 pitch. Outside misses. Evens the count at 2-2. Carolina long ball team leading the SEC with 96 four-baggers. Huge home run last night by Plummer against Liberty. Swung on. Bounding ball. Should be an easy play for the second baseman. The flip to first, and Janowitz is retired. That'll bring up the shortstop, Drew Meyer.
Say, Charlie, as you look at this game, a great pitching battle is shaping up between Bauer and Schmidt. A couple of guys that have great ERAs that can hold teams down. And this is really a key game in this whole tournament because the winner here only has to win one more game to be on their way to probably hosting a super regional.
Drew Meyer, freshman down in the Low Country in Charleston, South Carolina. Hits it hard to center field. Going back is Sullivan. Back, watching it sail over the wall. Drew Meyer gives Carolina the early 1-0 lead. And the young freshman has just hit another dinger, his 10th of the year. That's RBI 45.
Well, I was just bragging on him a moment ago. Going to hear a lot from this young man before he leaves Columbia, and he has certainly given his team a big emotional lift with a first-inning home run, and he put a charge into it, going the opposite way.
For the Carolina Gamecocks, their 97th home run as a team.
Well, and that's huge, too, because you can pick up runs so quickly, and let's watch it right here and see what it was. Just a fastball right down the middle, and he just absolutely crushed it.
Wind got a bit of that thing. It was hard enough, I think, to go anyway, but the wind certainly aided it.
Now the wind blowing from right to left, and will help a ball going that way.
That brings up Brennan Dees, who, of course, as we mentioned in the top of the broadcast, did not play against Liberty because of a sprained ankle, one he had injured earlier against Arkansas. I was surprised that he gets the starting nod, but Coach Tanner told me he wanted to play, and he starts off with a single on the first pitch, and he runs down the first, not at full speed, but looking much better than I ever dreamed he would.
Well, he's making Coach Tanner look pretty good with that decision right there. He ripped that ball to left as well, and Schmidt, who has been an outstanding pitcher, being hit pretty hard here early.
That'll bring up the catcher, Brandon Pack, young man out of Salt Lake City, Utah, switch hitter. If you're going to look for an MVP on this team, he's about as close as you get. There's so many guys that contribute. Dees on at first, one down, bottom of the first. Carolina leads in a solo home run by Drew Meyer. Schmidt ready, out of the stretch. Comes to the plate, swung on, missed by Pack.
Whoa, I looked like a circle change or some type of an off-speed pitch. Had Pack way out in front of it. He had visions of making this a 3-0 ball game pretty quick.
Pack hitting .321, checks the sign. Dees won't get too far from first base. Throw over. When he walked out to be introduced last night in the Liberty game, he could barely get out there to the baseline.
My guess is that circulation to his ankle is not something he's worried about right now. It's wrapped tight.
Outside almost. It caught the corner. 0-2 to Pack.
Pack just turned around to the home plate umpire and kind of went, "Are you sure?"
Those exact words?
Well,
probably.
Something like that.
I think they got to be those exact words.
I think so, or he wouldn't be standing there.
That's
anymore.
right. 0-2 pitch coming to Brandon Pack, the junior catcher. Call it on the corner. Said got the black, and Pack strikes out. And that is the first strikeout for Eric Schmidt. Two down.
I'm sorry. I tell you, if the umpire is going to give you the outside corner, if you're a good pitcher, you'll use it, and that's exactly what Schmidt's doing. He's found something that'll work for him, and he's going to use it as long as it's there.
Trey Dyson, young sophomore, designated hitter, changed his batting stance, and it changed everything. You'll watch him lay the bat back. He has hit some big long balls and big extra base hits to win games this season. Carolina up 1-0. Bottom of the first. Pitch from Schmidt is outside. 1-0.
Yeah, he has done a great job, and looks a little bit like Frank Robinson used to look, who played, of course, in the major leagues back during our time, Charlie. But seems to get a good level plane on his swing. If it works for him, so be it.
Takes a look at a ball. 2-0. Dees a runner on at first. Single on the first pitch thrown him. Just after Meyer had hit a solo home run to deep left center. Schmidt checks Dees. Dyson swings, fouls it out of play.
He had a big grand slam home run against Tennessee in the final home series of the year, which I was covering here. And it was a series where South Carolina had just come off losing 2 out of 3 at Arkansas, and it was the opening game of that weekend series with the Vols. And South Carolina really needed something to pick them up, and he came up with a huge hit, and they went on to sweep that series, one of 7 sweeps this year in the SEC.
Dyson also hit for the cycle against ACC member Duke. Schmidt's pitch. Base hit. Dyson. Dees round second, hobbling. He's going to go to third on a bad wheel, and their runners at the corner with 2 down here in the bottom of the first, and the home folks here leading it 1-0 on the solo shot by Meyer.
I'll tell you what, I'd like to have bad wheels like Dees has. He moved pretty good. Good shot right here. See him on the level plane, took that inside pitch, held his hands in, got the hips through, base hit to right.
3 hits for Carolina. Here comes Trip Kelly. Boy, Liberty had his number last night. Threw him a lot of breaking pitches. Lots of breaking pitches.
Well, if you're going to be successful in this game at this level, you got to learn to hit the curveball, because if you can't, that's all you'll see. And Kelly right now struggling just a little bit with the breaking pitch, and teams are using it against him.
Long ball hitter. If he catches it, you can kiss it goodbye. There's one in the corner. Nice pitch from Schmidt. 0-1. Trip Kelly out of Florence, South Carolina, the high school All-American in 1997. Led the state in home runs in 95. Runners at first and third, Dyson at first and Dees at third. Kelly, the batter, looks 0-1 from Schmidt. Breaking ball, misses. 1-1.
Well, Schmidt's in a real critical place right here. If he can get out of this inning just giving up the home run, he's in great shape. And a lot of pitchers need an inning or so to settle down. But this could be a big 2-out hit for Carolina.
Trip Kelly on his 21st birthday. Takes a pitch high, 2-1. Boy, he'd like to blow out those candles tonight. He'd settle for a team win, but I'm sure he'd like some individual numbers as well. Young man hit only 153 last year and has hit well over 300, now down to 299. Swung on, foul back out of play. Kelly was a Class 4A Player of the Year in South Carolina. Born Otis Thomas Kelly, 1979 in Florence. Parents are Tommy and Betty Kelly. He's got one sister. Favorite athlete is Barry Bonds.
He's having a great year.
2-2. Schmidt out of the stretch, swung on. Hit in foul territory. Giving chase is Athis. Can he get to it? No. Gave it the old college try there, but it was about 3-4 rows up in the bleacher seats.
And not getting much help from the Carolina fans down there.
Can't imagine why.
Plenty of room, plenty of room. Fans! He did a good job, and that wind held it up a lot, too.
2-2 is the count with 2 away. South Carolina leading on a solo home run from Drew Meyer, his 10th of the season. Schmidt comes with a pitch. Fastball popped up, out of play. Stays 2-2. If Kelly gets on, he'll be followed by Chris Plummer, who hit that big home run last night in the 7th against Liberty.
And we saw in the first game, you talk about Liberty, had 2 big 2-out hits in the first 2 innings. Carolina in a position right now to pick up the same kind of momentum the Flames did earlier today.
2-2 pitch. Fastball misses. Full at 3-2.
Great eye right there. That's a great pitch. Just barely missed outside.
He's got a place to put Kelly, but does he want to face Plummer? I don't think so. Here's a pitch, swung on. Pop fly. Shortstop rips back. Now the left fielder comes on and will take it to end the inning. Carolina gets a solo shot from the freshman shortstop and leads 1-0. As we go to the top of the second, the Deacons due up next.
It would have been easy to have been a football player and not a student. And conversely, it would have been much easier to have been just a student and left football for some other day and time. But it wouldn't have been as joyous, as rich, as humbling to have been one without the other. So for all of us, I say thank you from the bottom of my heart, not for a single award on a single night, but for the many memorable and molding moments that we have had the privilege to call ourselves student athletes.
Talk about a sun-baked crowd, and the gentleman you see there with the sun visor and beard is Nate Janowitz Daddy, who came in from California to watch Nate play today. Boy, a lot of water, a lot of towels, a lot of hats. Probably see a lot of umbrellas before this day's over. Danny Burrell leads it off in the second for Wake. Pitches outside from Bauer.
Ricky Pugh has gone down to the bullpen for Wake Forest and is starting to loosen up. I don't know if there's a problem with Schmidt or if they just don't like the way he's being hit right now.
Pitches outside. Evens the count at 1-1. Burrell hitting .306. Danny Burrell, the DH. Rangy left-handed hitter, shot. Just foul, past Kelly at first. That had some steam on it.
And actually, I think it's actually Ricky Paugh, P-A-U-G-H. And he's only made 5 appearances so far this year, so I'm not sure what the deal is, but he is certainly down there warming up.
Burrell stands in for the 1-2 offering from the big item. Swung on, fouled out of play once again.
It's just got to be intimidating to look at him out there. He is huge. I mean, and then you put him on top of a mound that's, what, 14 or 15 inches tall. I mean, he's almost 10. That ball's coming from over 10 feet in the air.
1-2 from Bauer. Swung on. Hit to McHenry at second. Flips it to Kelly. 1 down.
That's 4 in a row for Bauer. He's off to a great start.
Scored 4-3, and that brings up Dan Conway, the catcher.
And make it 3 ground balls and a strikeout, which also means he's keeping the ball down in the strike zone. When he was having a little trouble with that the first batter or so, but he seems to really be settling into a nice groove for Carolina.
Bauer's pitch misses. 1-0. Conway, outstanding catcher, pro prospect, has power, hitting .326. Bouncing ball off the plate. Bauer has it. Flip it to Kelly. 2 down.
Conway, one of 3 players on this team that transferred in from Providence when they discontinued their baseball program. One of the other ones is first baseman Jamie Athas, who we'll see in just a few minutes.
So Bauer has retired the first 5, has 1 strikeout. That was Bichelle, the shortstop. Final out of the last inning. Standing in Matt Price, left fielder. Matt hitting .275, 7 round trippers and 37 RBI. Price looks at a strike. 0-1. Bauer very, very sharp early. The wind and the pitch. Breaking ball misses. Evens the count at 1-1.
One thing about Peter Bauer, you have no doubt what he thinks about a call. He kind of wears that expression out there.
Swung on and missed by Price. Strike 2.
And then when he doesn't like a call, he just gets mad and blows it by you. Wow, he just really heated that one up.
Wake is a fastball hitting team, very aggressive. Always looking fastball. Crowd here is really into it early, as you'd expect. Very partisan crowd.
You can see Bauer right there already perspiring a lot. And a great big guy like that, sometimes the heat's tougher on them than a smaller guy.
1-2 breaking ball misses. Even the count at 2-2 with 2 away.
For those who just joined us, the heat fast approaching 100 degrees, and the humidity, my guess, is in the 80s somewhere.
On the corner, gunned him down, second strikeout, and that retires the side for Peter Bauer. He's faced 6, he's put down 6. Carolina 1, Wake nothing. Back for the Gamecocks second on CSS after you watch this.
Everybody needs somebody to love.
Someone to love.
I need you. Sometimes I feel really flat inside. Everybody laugh with me. You know I'm always gonna keep it satisfied.
The Drew Carey Show.
The Braves are on a mission. MVP Chipper Jones and Atlanta are out to destroy anyone in their path. Braves baseball all season long. Go beyond the box score.
Once in a while, you've got to knock the guy down.
It's big league coverage from a fresh perspective. The National Sports Report.
There's a good look at Peter Bauer. As we mentioned, he's faced 6, and they've all sat down rather quickly.
He's looked absolutely great, really. I mean, when you take a look at it, he's got 2 strikeouts and 4 ground ball outs. That tells you that he's pretty overpowering right now.
It'll be Chris Plummer Step it up for the Carolina Gamecocks. Last night again, huge home run that put Carolina up in the 7th and helped them to go on and win the game in their 19th comeback win of the year as they defeated the Liberty Flames.
That was a great game. It really was. I came in from Knoxville last night, got to see the last couple innings, and it was very exciting.
Plummer hitting .281, first pitch, up high, 1-0.
Just know where you can rest in this Carolina lineup. There's power from top to bottom. They can hurt you in a lot of ways.
Second pitch, breaking ball, fly ball out of play down the left side. Chris Plummer suffered with an ankle injury early on in the year, overcame that. Had to work to overcome it as well. Worked very hard to get back to playing at full strength.
Most of the time when you see a team that's in the top of the standings, they've had to overcome a lot of things. And, the teams that can overcome adversity get to that position. And Carolina's done a great job of it this year.
1-1 pitch, misses. 2-1 to Plummer, a marketing major from Fort Walton Beach, Florida, junior college player. He was a top rookie in fall practice. Fastball is there. 2-2. Call him Plum. Hobbies are playing the guitar, water skiing, hunting, and fishing. 2-2 pitch. Foul ball. Can the first baseman Athos get to it? Yes, he will make the play for the first out of the inning. So Plummer pops out.
That's a tougher play than it looks right there. The wind really is whipping around quite a bit. He had run into that fence a moment ago chasing one over there. That one didn't get quite far enough for South Carolina, but Wake makes a nice play. Athos on the play.
Marcus McBeth, .289 average with 8 home runs. Takes the pitch very close inside. These guys will stand in. They've been hit by quite a number of pitches. And McBeth, nicknamed what else but Shakespeare, has been hit by a bunch of them. Swung on, foul back. 1-1. Marcus has been hit 5 times. McHenry the most, being hit 8 times. As a team, 44 batters have been hit. Hard ground ball to short, gobbled up by Vachel, and the nice throw to first, and they're 2 down.
Now Vachel took his time on that one. It just about cost him. McBeth can really motor down the line. He made that a close play.
That'll bring up John McHenry, the second baseman. Carolina 1-0 lead on 3 hits. For South Carolina, Beyer has retired the first 6 hitters he has faced. McHenry, another junior college transfer, hitting .274. Breaking ball, bunt, third base. McHenry beats it. Infield hit. Nice bunt by McHenry as Slavic couldn't get to it in time.
Well, they caught him back just a little bit and then laid down a perfect bunt. We saw in the first game today Liberty take advantage of the bunt. You'll watch right here. Watch him deaden that ball as it goes down the third base line. Good play. Only chance he has is to backhand and come up throwing. Makes a good strong throw, but you don't get the speedy McHenry.
Nate Janowitz up for the second time with 2 down. Janowitz grounded out second to first to open up the game for Carolina. Pitch is high and outside to Jano. Great eye at the plate. Janowitz has walked 36 times. Very tough out as the leadoff hitter. 1-0 pitch outside. Whoa, excuse me. That's the second time today. Excuse me. That is 1-1.
Mitch Mealy, I believe, is how you pronounce it. M-E-L-E, the home plate umpire. All you ask for is
he's
consistency.
got a much better seat.
You ask for consistency for the men in blue, and he's been consistent so far today.
They're over to first, and McHenry's back. Another throw over to first. South Carolina swept 7 SEC teams this year: Auburn, Alabama State, Vandy, UK, Georgia, Tennessee, and took 2 out of 3 from Florida, 1 of 3 from LSU and Arkansas. 1-1. Runner goes. Here's a throw to second. Wide. McHenry, though, is tagged as he goes by before he gets a hand on the bag, and the side is retired. We'll go to the Wake Forest third with South Carolina leading the Demon Deacons 1-0. You're watching college baseball on CSX.
Don't worry about bad storms or Y2K. Now just a simple touch will light the way. Introducing Instant Touch Light, affordable custom lighting at the touch of your fingers. You can easily light the shower. Now see what's under the sink or in the pantry. Light the closet exactly where you need it. With just a touch, you can light a hutch. Never be stranded at the bottom of the cellar stairs again. Don't be blinded by the light. With just a touch, you can see just right. They're always there when kids need them. A must for in the car or in the trunk. Custom light walkways and dangerous dark stairs. Perfect for all holiday decorations. Order now and get 6 Instant Touch Lights with a 30-day risk-free guarantee for only $14.95. Order Instant Touch Lights for $14.95 right now.
To order your Instant Touch Light system, call 1-800-521-9993 or send a check or money order to Instant Touch Light, 1008 Peck Street, Nashville, Tennessee, 37206.
Here in Columbia, South Carolina at the Southeast Regional, it is the Gamecocks 1 and the Demon Deacons 0. Peter Bauer has faced 6 and set them all down. Carolina with 4 hits and the lone run coming on a solo shot from the shortstop Meyer in the first inning.
Now, Bauer's had great control of his pitches. He's working quickly, which is great in this kind of weather for your team out in the field, and he's being very efficient with his pitches. He's only faced the minimum 6 through 2 innings. If you want to get deep into a game in this kind of weather, that's what you want to do.
Number 33 standing in for the Demon Deacons of Wake Forest, Carlos Brackley, the right fielder, hitting at .307. Bauer winds, fires, breaking pitch, misses. Wake Forest, great university in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. The enrollment, 3,836. Bauer's pitch, one bouncer to Plummer, pats it, throws it, got him, 1 down. Their home field is Hooks Stadium, seats 2,500.
You don't think of Wake Forest as being a school that small, Charlie. I mean, an ACC school you think would be a little bit bigger than that, but it's really a pretty small university.
And a terrific school and in a terrific city, just like Columbia here in the University of South Carolina. Of course, these two teams used to play each other a lot back when Carolina was in the ACC with Wake.
Well, Wake leads the series 23-19. The Gamecocks have won the last 8. The last meeting before today was back in '77.
Bowers pitch, number to Plummer. He'll flip it over to Kelly. 2 down. Well, Bauer keeps mowing him down.
Right now, they're just eating out of his hand. There's all you can say. They are just not seeing the ball well. They're not getting good metal on it, and his team's making the plays behind him. You mentioned Wake. They're having a great year. One of only 10 Division I schools that have made the postseason in both all 3, football, basketball, and baseball. Of course, went to the Aloha Bowl, played in the NIT, and now they're in the NCAA tournament here in baseball.
Next hitter, Corey Slavic. 9th place hitter. Pitch is low. Slavic, the 3rd baseman for the Deeks. 1-1. Slavic hitting at a .323 clip. Beautiful pitch on the corner for Peter Bauer.
Had a good opening game yesterday against Seton Hall. Went 2 for 4 with an RBI.
1-0 Carolina. Here in the Wake Forest 3rd. Deeks trying to get something going here. Bauer, 1-2 pitch, swung on, ground ball. McHenry makes the play almost. Tough play. Let's say they rule it. Probably an error on McHenry. Had to come a long way. He was playing over in the hole.
I give him a hit. He'd have had a very tough time, as we'll watch it right here, making that play. They're going to give him an error. Take a look at this, though. See how far over he is? He'd have had to stop, plant, and make a throw. I don't believe that can happen, but official score says error, and the no-hitter still intact.
That brings up the leadoff hitter, Corey Sullivan. Of course, the man squatting behind him, Brandon Pack, was a teammate of his in junior college. They know each other quite well. Very good friends.
You can tell there's some Wake Forest people in the stands. A big groan when the error went up. Rooting for their Demon Deacons.
1-0 Gamecocks. Sullivan hits it the opposite way. Janowitz on his horse. Fair ball. Janowitz will run it in. Slavic advances to second, so the Deacs with 2 down, and their portion of the third have runners in scoring position, and that brings up Aquilani, the second baseman.
4th hit so far for Sullivan in the regional here. He got a great 3-for-4 start, 3 RBIs, 2 runs scored, had a big home run yesterday, picks up his first hit today. So for the regional right now, he's 4 for 6.
Aquilani, who grounded to short back in the first inning, stands in, hitting .294, and couldn't check the swing. Strike 1.
Bauer with a great slider. He starts that ball right in the middle of the plate, breaks it outside. Looks like a fastball till right at the end. It's hard to pull back.
Bauer out of the stretch with runners at first and second. Swung on and missed again by Aquilani.
And there it was again. Another great pitch for Peter Bauer. He's bowing up a little bit here with a couple of runners on. He's got his concentration back.
0-2.
You can see his jersey flapping right there. They may make him button that top button here in a minute. Could be distracting to a hitter.
Pitch by Bauer is outside, and Aquilani didn't go for it. You know, there were times in years past when I used to play where pitchers would cut their sleeve a little bit on their throwing arm. They'd move a little bit and throw you off as a hitter.
Surely you didn't.
I would never attempt anything like that, but I heard that was done.
You wouldn't deceive a hitter, would you?
Bauer's pitch. Hit back up the middle. McHenry with a chance to flip it for the force out, and he does it. McHenry on the force to Meyer, and the Deacs go down. We'll go into the Carolina third with the Gamecocks ahead 1-0. 1 run on 4 hits and an error. We're coming back with more from Columbia, South Carolina after this.
CSS is Comcast Charter Sports Southeast, a regional sports network currently available only to Comcast and Charter cable customers. Sports enthusiasts, college baseball, football, and basketball, the best in minor league baseball and hockey. Put yourself in the middle of the action as CSS brings you entertaining highlights, informative interviews, and the best in Southeast sports coverage. CSS is unique Comcast Charter programming and your source for sports in the Southeast.
We're Everclear, just your average band of losers and one-hit wonders. You know, when I was a kid, it was always assumed that drugs were cool. I'd do any drug on the table. It didn't matter what it was. Man, I was wrong. Never talk about the damage it's going to do to you physically and mentally. It takes your life away from you. I threw away 14 years of my life. Sad. I used to be a stupid rock and roll cliche. Don't listen to me. Don't listen to anybody. Figure it out for yourself. I don't know what else to say.
Welcome back to Sarge Fry Field. So far, Peter Bauer handcuffing the Demon Deacons, but only a single run scored in this game, and that was in the first inning. Second hitter for Carolina, Drew Meyer. Long home run into the alley in left center. Wake Forest been held to 1 hit by Peter Bauer. And for Eric Schmidt, the senior right-handed hurler for the Deacs, he's given up 4 hits.
Well, he got off to a rocky start. Of course, gives up the home run to Meyer, and then right away a base hit to Dees, another one to Dyson. Looks like he's in trouble. He gets out of the inning and comes back last inning, and he did give up 1 base hit. It was a bunt single by McHenry, but looked a whole lot better. Looks like he's settled down a little bit.
Young man with a lot of talent, as we mentioned, arm problems, has not pitched in a while. They wanted to make sure he was ready.
And that very well may have been why the pitcher was going down to warm up in the first inning. They may have thought that perhaps he was having some arm problems.
Janowitz, low roller, goes foul.
Hey, short speed, now short speed.
Hey, Janowitz idles back very slowly, picks up the bat, checks it out. Here's the guy, if we get a good look at his batting helmet, has more pine tar on his helmet than the pine tar bag does that you get your grip for your bat with. And he's not a big guy, and he has to, I'm sure, do more work in the weight room on his neck just to keep that headgear on without his head falling forward. I'm telling you, that thing's heavy.
You see that, I guess, Craig Biggio, a guy in the big leagues whose helmet looks a lot like that.
Gamecock third. South Carolina up 1-0. Janowitz hitting .339. Looks at a pitch outside, 2-1. University of South Carolina President Dr. John Palms, the Director of Athletics Dr. Mike McGee, located here in Columbia, South Carolina, founded in 1801 with an enrollment of almost 26,000. Jano swung on and missed. That was a home run cut.
Boy, it was. He saw the off-speed pitch and tried to time it. You could see him try to hold his hands back, and then he pulled the trigger, but even that wasn't enough, as that was really slow.
2-2 to Nate Janowitz. Man who writes rap music and wants to produce film someday. Breaking ball, fouled out of play. Count remains 2-2.
He's a spark plug kind of guy. He's a good leadoff hitter. Does a nice job for the Gamecocks and really is an integral part of their offense. When he's going well, they score a lot of runs.
About as loosey-goosey as you could find as a player, but also always in the game. Pitches high, it's 3-2, goes full.
Just has that look about him. You know, he is in the game all the time. Kind of a Pete Rose kind of a guy almost.
His mother was a great athlete. She participated in track and field at Cal Polytechnic University, San Luis Obispo, California. Swung on, foul out of play again.
If nothing else, he's making Eric Schmidt work very hard on a hot day. That's a lot of pitches that he's wasted right there.
And there's that batting helmet. Looks like it's been through every world war we've had.
I bet if you stuck those batting gloves on a wall, they'd stick.
Janowitz, center field. Will it drop? Will it drop? No. Coming on the center fielder Sullivan to make the play, and that's out number one.
Looked like it might fall in for a moment, but a good job by Sullivan. He really turned the Jets on and got there in time.
With one down, Drew Meyer had that solo shot, his 10th round tripper of the year back in the first inning to give Carolina the early lead. Breaking ball misses. Meyer never wastes any time. After the pitch, he checks, looks for another sign, and stands in and says, throw it to me. Fakes a bunt. 1-1.
Well, it's one of those situations. The last time up, he hits a home run almost 400 feet. This time, he's trying to lay a bunt down. That's a pretty versatile performer, wouldn't you say?
They'll come at you with anything and everything. Try to keep you off balance. 1-1 pitch from Schmidt. Popped up and out of play. Over the stands behind us. Drew Meyer was named the '99 South Carolina Player of the Year in high school and was selected to the U.S. Junior National Team. Mentioned he was a second-round draft pick of the Dodgers and decided to pass that up. Swung on a miss by Meyer. Beautiful pitch by Schmidt. 2 down.
Yeah, that was a very good pitch right there. Second strikeout for Schmidt, and he really did it. Actually, the first strikeout for Schmidt. He did a very nice job. Is it second? Yeah, it is. I'm sorry.
Pack, I guess, in the first. And
right.
You too? You know, people tell me I write like a doctor. I don't make that kind of money, but I do write like a doctor, where you can barely read it. Brennan Dees strike his second trip up to the plate. Very doubtful whether he would play. The first pitch he took from Schmidt, he singled into left between third and short. Breaking ball hit toward third. Slavic throws it over. Got him and the side retired. We'll move on to the Carolina third. The Gamecocks still holding on to that 1-0 lead over the Demon Deacons of Wake Forest. It's the 1 seed against the 2 seed here in the Mideast Regional of the NCAA baseball tournament in Columbia, South Carolina. You're watching CSS.
Are you tired?
At the end of the week lies the start of something new. The Sunday Night Show. A gallery of products, style, and advice for you and your home. A place where you can find it, buy it, and actually learn what to do with it. The Sunday Night Show. Only on the Home Shopping Network. Yes, the Home Shopping Network. Sundays 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific.
Meet the Drew Crew. I'm Lewis, Drew's best buddy.
Don't look at me like that, Drew. I'm not a pork chop.
I'm Oswald, Drew's best buddy.
Give it to us, big boy.
Who's his best buddy now?
The Drew Carey Show. Drew it all week long. Weeknights at 7:30, only on the WB, Channel 14. Welcome to my world.
Back in Columbia, South Carolina, Charlie Mack Alexander along with Jeff Jacoby. Carolina leads Wake 1-0.
Peter Bauer back on the hill for South Carolina as he goes into his 4th inning of work. He's worked just 2 over the minimum at this point. Gave up a couple of base hits, well, actually an error and a base hit last inning. Had a couple of runners on, but really tightened it up at that point, got out of the jam, and he's just looked very sharp so far for South Carolina. On the other side, Eric Schmidt, after a rocky start, really has settled down. This is turning into quite a little pitcher's duel.
This baby's a long way from being over.
You bet it is.
Top of the 4th. Chase Voshell will be the hitter. The Deacon shortstop, mentioned earlier, first team all ACC player, struck out in the 1st inning. See a good look at the crowd behind Voshell. The screen there is Bauer winds and fires. A breaking pitch is fouled off. Voshell from Milford, Ohio, your home state.
Sure is. I'm from Cincinnati. That's just actually a suburb of Cincinnati.
Now, do you say Cincinnati?
I say
Cincinnati.
I say Cincinnati. A lot of people that are from there originally say Cincinnati, though.
Pitch misses. Count even at 1-1.
I've just never seen an A in it anywhere.
Which, it's like Miami.
Yeah, there you go.
And Hawaii.
Hawaii.
Voshell, a 4th-round draft pick of the Diamondbacks. Time is called. Bauer throws anyway. Voshell, 4th-round pick of the Arizona Diamondbacks in the '97 Major League Draft. His family has a rich baseball tradition. Grandfather Les Voshell played for the Cardinals. Pitch misses. And also his brother Key was a member of Louisville's baseball team, and he's now an assistant with the Deacs.
Family affair.
Sly and the Family Stone, is that right?
Something like that.
.333 batting average for Chase Voshell. Pitch is high. Count goes to 3-1.
Charlie, as I look down, more action in the Demon Deacon bullpen, so I don't know if that means that Schmidt still being bothered by some arm problems or not, but they've certainly got somebody heating up.
Bauer chucks it. Swung on, fouled out of play. It's 3-2. Nobody out here in the Deacon 4th inning. Carolina leads at 1-0. Home run by freshman shortstop Drew Meyer in the 1st.
Voshell, a guy that likes the gaps, leads the team with 21 doubles. Has good speed.
Voshell ready. Looks at a 3-2 from the large island. Swung on. Off the glove of Bauer. McHenry's got to hurry. Scoops it. Throws it. Got him. Nice play by McHenry. Probably been better off if Bauer hadn't tried to make the play because he deflected the ball and slowed it down, and McHenry had to hurry. But there is the first out of the inning.
McHenry did a nice job of redirecting himself to pick that ball up. And then, as you'll watch right here, watch this snap throw. Bam! Got him by a step.
Danny Burrell, the designated hitter. He grounded second to first back in the 2nd inning. Stands in, hits from the left side against Bauer with 1 down. Swung on. He was fooled on that one.
Yeah, pulled the string on him right there. Good first pitch. Ricky Paw, the Pitcher who was up earlier for Wake Forest is throwing once again in the bullpen.
0-1. Here it is. High. Pack pulls it down. 1-1.
You get up too many times in the bullpen today, it'd be just like pitching. Warming up could be strenuous in this heat.
Morrell swung on. Ball hit high. Dees drifts back. And has the catch for the second out of the inning.
You say drift back, limps over, and makes the catch.
Exactly.
You can tell. And this will be something to see is how far he can go. Obviously, they've strapped it up very tightly for him to play at all. How long he can go before it really starts to bother him will be something we'll have to watch.
Played in an old-timers game one time and got my ankles taped very early. About the fourth inning, I noticed my feet wouldn't move. I had no circulation. Bauer's pitch gets away from him. Call that one a slider, slid right off his right hand.
What do you call him? The large
item.
The large item. Well, that looked like the big unit to Crook in the All-Star game a few years ago. Watch this. How would you like to be watching a 90-mile-an-hour fastball sail over your head like that?
And Conway looking at 0-1. Fouled out of play. Conway, as I mentioned, a pro prospect, named first team All-ACC, leads the team with 14 home runs, and Ribby's with 56. That's coming in. And he ranked 9th in the ACC in RBI and 6 in runs scored. And as Jeff has mentioned, played at Providence, one of a couple of players that transferred in from the Friars.
Yeah, Jamie Athas also came from that program when they discontinued baseball.
Carolina ahead 1-0 here in the Deacon fourth. Bauer 2-1 pitch. Beautiful breaking ball. Evens at a 2-2. Deuces wild.
Conway, 14 home runs, 18 doubles. He has been very productive for the Demon Deacons this year.
Conway, 325 hitter. Looks at a 2-2. Misses outside. Plummer was headed to the Carolina dugout. Plummer, the Carolina third sacker, was headed that way.
That was a great pitch. Tough to take with 2 strikes.
There's Plummer. See if he goes to the dugout on this pitch. Yep, just a pitch early. Plummer heads to the dugout, so do his teammates. And Peter Bauer keeps mowing them down. He's got a one-hitter going. Carolina 1, Wake Forest 0. Coming back at you with more college baseball from the NCAA Southeast Regional on CSS in just a moment.
Charter Sports Southeast, a regional sports network currently available only to Comcast and Charter Cable customers. CSS delivers hard-to-find programming for the serious sports enthusiast. College baseball, football, and basketball. The best in minor league baseball and hockey. Put yourself in the middle of the action as CSS brings you entertaining highlights, informative interviews, and the best in Southeast sports coverage. CSS is unique Comcast Charter programming and your source for sports in the Southeast.
My teacher tells us to just say no. Policemen said the same thing. They don't have to walk home through here. 'Cause the dealers are scared of police. But they're not scared of me. And they don't take no for an answer.
To Kevin Scott and all the other kids who take the long way home, we hear you. Don't give up.
How hot is it, you ask? Well, there's this thermometer down there that shows, we're told, 111 degrees.
I give it 12.
Man.
It doesn't matter once you get that hot.
Thank goodness for a breeze.
How'd you like to be playing on AstroTurf today? There's a great shot of Peter Bauer. I want to know where our girl is up here with the ice towels.
Well, that's the same lady that picked us up in the limo and brought all the deli food. And I don't know, where did she go anyway?
I don't know. We lost her.
Oh, she went to get cold drinks. Thank you very much.
There you go.
I'm told she went to get cold drinks. Joining us up here in the press box, Carolina assistant head basketball coach Rick Callahan. Great baseball fan is Coach Eddie Fogler and Lou Holtz. And this team has really gotten everyone excited here this season. 53 wins, a school record, and 25 league wins in the Southeastern Conference. A high water mark in Southeastern Conference history.
One swept 5 consecutive Southeastern Conference series and 7 overall. I mean, that's incredible in a league with that much talent.
Brandon Pack, the hitter. Breaking ball high. 1-0. Pack struck out in the first. Pack is from Salt Lake City, Utah. Esperanza High School, Cypress Junior College. Swung on and missed. Good pitch by Eric Schmidt.
How in the world do you get a recruiting trip going out there?
Nice place to go.
Yeah, really.
Young man named to the Dean's List. Born in Murray, Utah. 1-1 pitch. Misses outside. 2-1. Pack hitting .319. Nicknames are Pac-Man and Ned. His brother-in-law, Kevin Shaw, played 7 years in the Kansas City Royals and Reds organizations. 2-1 pitch to Pack. Fastball swung on and missed. Pack now will face a 2-2 pitch from Schmidt. That was a lot of heat on that one.
I don't know why they're warming anybody up. He sure looks like he's getting stronger as the innings go on.
Both these pitchers look terrific. Carolina up 1-0 on the homer by Meyer in the first inning. Schmidt's pitch swung on, hit to second base. Should be an easy play. Aquilani flips over to first, and Athos, and there's one down.
That was a great pitch right there. Really just sawed him off. In the wooden bat days, Pack may have been left with a handle in his hand. Good for him right there. Aquilani makes the routine play to get Pack at first.
And Trey Dyson, the designated hitter, will stand in. He played ahead of Trip Kelly at first last year, and Kelly only hit .153 then, has come on this year and taken that job away as a starter. And Dyson has been really effective as a DH, takes the first pitch for a strike. Trey Dyson, young man from right here in Columbia. Swung on, swing. Will it drop? Oh boy, the center fielder makes a great diving play. Tremendous effort by Sullivan to rob Trey Dyson of a base hit.
There's your player for Wake Forest. He had a great day yesterday. Comes back today. Watch this. Just a flare towards center. Gets a great break on the ball, lays out, and just makes a great catch. From another angle, watch him leave his feet. Great concentration. Great catch.
I tell you, when you hit the ground like that, running that hard, your head takes a big snap, as you saw there. It's hard to keep your eyes on the ball. Kelly can't keep his eyes on that one. A swing and a miss.
Super off-speed pitch right there. Great arm speed on the way through. I'm not sure if that was a circle change or just a slow curve, but it certainly was effective.
Again, Kelly's 21st birthday today. Check swing. Got him. 0-2. We mentioned Kelly's problems at the plate as of late, and mainly due to breaking pitches. 0-2 pitch. Fastball swung on. Put him down on 3 straight pitches, and the Gamecocks are retired. And we head to the Wake Forest 5th. Close affair, low-scoring affair. Will it get to nail-biter time soon? Probably, if it stays this way. You're watching college baseball on CSS.
Springtime, and that means the 2000 Men's College World Series returns to Omaha, Nebraska. Don't miss the best teams in college baseball slug it out at Johnny Rosenblatt Stadium, June 9th through the 17th. For tickets, call 402-422-1212. That's 402-422-1212. Or log on to NCAAChampionships.com.
So we've been looking at these new satellite dishes.
Why is it the more I look?
The more questions I have. A few reservations.
So where does this dish go? Why is it right out in front on the roof?
Just out there in the open.
I mean, we have a beautiful yard. I might have to cut some trees down, too. I'm not interested in cutting down some of the beautiful things I've had growing for years to make room for a satellite dish.
So this sounds like a pretty involved process.
And who's going to stay home?
Waiting for people to come and install it.
Me.
Satellite TV isn't all it's dished up to be.
I'm real excited.
Boy, these two pitchers have been absolutely incredible. Of course, Bauer just started off like a house afire, putting everybody down, and then Schmidt, after a little bit of a slow start, I think has retired 10 in a row.
10 in a row. The last batter, Trip Kelly in the first, and the sides in, well, actually, that's not true. There was a base hit by McHenry, a bunt single in the second. He was erased on a steal, so in effect, 10 batters in a row have gone down, but he's only retired 6 in a row.
But still, both guys really pitching well and getting good help on the defensive end. Boy, what a great catch out of center field by Sullivan.
He's been doing it all for Wake Forest in this series so far in the regional here.
Matt Price is the hitter for the Demon Deacons, down 1-0. Strike by Bauer, came with a heater. Peter Bauer has struck out 3 so far. Breaking pitch outside. And Schmidt for Wake has struck out 3. 1-2 pitch coming to Matt Price from Bauer. Misses on the corner. It's 2-2. I don't know whether Bauer's big enough to pop those buttons to open that shirt up or whether he just unbuttoned them.
Well, you can tell he's laboring. It is hot out there.
2-2 delivery. Pop toward first. Kelly makes it almost flat-footed. 1 away.
It will be interesting to see how these pitchers fare. As we mentioned, if you happen to just join us, very humid today in Columbia. Temperature somewhere mid-90s to almost 100 degrees. We've seen a thermometer at 112 at some point on the field, but my guess is that's coming off some AstroTurf by one of the dugouts or something. I don't think it's 112. Feels like it up here.
Carlos Brackley, the hitter. Ball outside. Brackley had a dramatic 2-run home run to give Wake a 7-4 win over then top-ranked Florida State on March the 18th. There's a pitch for a strike. Also hit his second career grand slam in a win at East Tennessee State. And he went 5 for 10 with 4 ribbies and a home run in the ACC tournament. Breaking pitch, popped out of play. 1-2.
I think you could have handled that one. That
30
nice,
years ago?
Nice and soft. I do the radio at Tennessee, and you can actually get a ball directly in there. I've been praying for one all year. My partner, John Wilkerson, says I'll duck. I don't think so.
Make sure you pay attention. Don't turn your head. Powers pitch. Did he go around? Hack tags him. Say no. And break the plane. It's 1-2.
Pretty interesting. The home plate umpire wouldn't even acknowledge Pack's request to check with the first base umpire. That was interesting.
Bauer with a pitch, guns him down. 2 away. 4th strikeout for Peter Bauer. 2 down in the Wake 5th.
Here it is. Rare back and throw heat. Tough place. Knee high outside corner. That's just about an unhittable pitch right there from Bauer.
Jamie Athos, first baseman, is the hitter. Drag bunt. Bauer will get to it. Flip. Kelly's there. Safe. So he beat it.
I don't think his foot was on the base. If we look at it again, I'm not sure that he ever found it again.
I think he didn't want to hit it quite that hard. I think he really wanted to drag it down there and let it die, but it still works.
Well, or he could have been, a lot of times if you can get it by the pitcher, that slow roller toward the second baseman, I mentioned a moment ago, not to belabor the point, but Tennessee does that a lot, and I think they're going to give him a base hit.
Slavic will be the hitter for the Demon Deacons. Corey Slavic hitting at .222. Ball. 1-0.
There's some natural holes in that infield, and if you can get a ball past the pitcher toward the second baseman that's going to roll dead before it gets to the dirt, there's nobody there to field it.
Bauer's pitch, breaking ball, off-speed delivery. Maybe a change there. And it's 2-0. Just one blooper.
And then a bunt.
And then a bunt.
So really nobody's just really smoked one off of Bauer yet.
There's a new one on me. Taking a strike is Slavic. He moves up actually past the chalk in the batter's box and then came back. And that's a new one on me. I don't think I've seen that before.
I've seen a batter start with his front foot back and step in.
Just misses outside. It's 3-1.
Tough miss for Bauer. That ball was real close to the zone. Pretty good location. He's been living on the outside corner at the knees.
2 down, 3-1 delivered to Slavic. Bauer guns it right down the boulevard. 3-2. 4 strikeouts for Bauer. Will it be number 5? And that would close out Wake here in the top of the 5th. Runner goes, swung on. Nice play by Kelly, unassisted to first. Inning over. South Carolina ahead of the Demon Deacons 1-0. The score came in the first inning, and nobody's put anything on the board since. Now to the bottom of the 5th. South Carolina clinging to a single. 8 minutes after 4 o'clock here, Eastern Time Zone, Columbia, South Carolina. NCAA Regional Tournament. Carolina with a 1-0 lead on Wake Forest. Let's check some more scores from around the United States in the NCAA tournament. Jeff?
At Clemson, Middle Tennessee State has beat Old Dominion 6-5. So Old Dominion going home there in Atlanta. It's Auburn over Georgia Southern, a final 11-5. Another final, Florida International has eliminated Wagner 10-1. Penn State sends Army home in Montclair, New Jersey 3-1. Evansville beat Bethune-Cookman 6-5. Wichita State over Butler 4-1. McNeese State loses to Marist 6-5. It's Tulane over South Alabama 4-3. New Orleans beat Jackson State 24-9.
That's after LSU beat them, what, 19-1? Something like that.
Oral Roberts 4-2 over Delaware.
Plummer takes a breaking pitch on the outside corner from Eric Schmidt.
More scores. Florida has eliminated Baylor 10-1. Texas Tech over Princeton also 10-1.
Another breaking pitch swung on and missed by Plummer. He's down 0-2.
Miami of Ohio leads Creighton 6-2 in the bottom of the 7th out in Tempe, Arizona. In Palo Alto, it's Nevada over Fresno State 9-2, top of the 7th.
Off-speed pitch swung on, foul back. Count stays at 0-2. Last night against Liberty, Chris Plummer 1 for 3 in that gigantic home run, 2-run shot that basically won the game for Carolina. 6-4 over Liberty last night. Pitch misses, 1-2.
Some games of interest in the Southeast. Clemson leads Illinois 3-2 top of the 4th. Georgia Tech off to a great start there ahead of Stetson 7-0 in the bottom of the 3rd. And Florida State has a 2-0 lead over Central Florida in the top of the 4th inning.
This region here in Columbia rated as the 3rd toughest among all of them in this first weekend of postseason play in the NCAA tournament. Plummer hits it to right on his horse. Brackley's got it.
I really think the wind held that one up a little bit as it was right into the teeth of that wind, which looks like it's blowing, what, 10, 15 miles an hour maybe? It's not real strong, but enough to affect that ball. And it kind of beat it down and allowed Brackley to pick it off.
Next hitter, Marcus Macbeth, the center fielder. Grounded short to first in the 2nd. Member of the football team, kickoff man. Pitches inside, 1-0. Says he will decide later as to whether he will continue to play football. May just keep all his energy, his efforts, his attention to baseball. Swung on, missed by Macbeth. Very gifted athlete, 1-1.
Schmidt really using the changeup effectively here in the middle innings. You know, he started off throwing quite a bit of heat, and he's really changing speeds well.
1 down. 1 apiece. Swung on, missed by Macbeth. It's 1-2.
Now he's conducting a clinic for Marcus Macbeth right now. He is really frustrated. He's not sure what he's going to see here.
Macbeth's brother James played baseball at Carson Newman in Tennessee.
Right down the street from Knoxville.
1-2. Schmidt delivers. Bouncing ball. Should be an easy play for the shortstop, Bushell. On to first. It's closer than you might imagine, but Macbeth is retired. 2nd out.
You got to give Macbeth credit. He'll hustle out anything. That's 2 times today that he's grounded out, and both times he has made the play very close.
Both 6-3, short to first. Here it is again. Little lunge there at the bag.
Now Voshell has a little trouble getting it out of his glove. Then he double clutches and then tries to throw on the run. Didn't get a whole lot on the throw.
John McHenry. Line shot to short. Voshell. Side retired. So we'll move on to the Carolina 5th inning. Gamecocks still holding on to that 1-0 lead. These two pitchers are extremely good today. More college baseball coming up on CSS in just a minute.
Charter Sports Southeast, a regional sports network currently available only to Comcast and Charter Cable customers. CSS delivers hard-to-find programming for the serious sports enthusiast. College baseball, football, and basketball. The best in minor league baseball and hockey. Put yourself in the middle of the action as CSS brings you entertaining highlights, informative interviews, and the best in Southeast sports coverage. CSS is unique Comcast charter programming and your source for sports in the Southeast.
It would have been easy to have been a football player and not a student. And conversely, it would have been much easier to have been just a student and left football for some other day and time. But it wouldn't have been as joyous, as rich, as humbling to have been one without the other. So for all of us, I say thank you from the bottom of my heart, not for a single award on a single night, but for the many memorable and molding moments that we have had the privilege to call ourselves student athletes.
Mentioned at the break, both pitchers throwing exceptionally well, and Bauer has got a 2-hitter going, and Schmidt for Wake has a 4-hitter going. Carolina leads at 1-0.
Now Bauer has shut out the Demon Deacons through 5. The last time that Wake was shut out for an entire game was 161 games ago, when they were shut out by the UNC Charlotte 49ers 7-0. That was March 24th, 1998.
Corey Sullivan, junior infielder. Pitch is low and in the dirt. Off pack. He's played center field in every game this season. Had a team-high 14-game hit streak earlier this year. Second-team All-ACC player. Hits it hard to Kelly. Nice backhand. He'll take it unassisted. 1 down.
Boy, is that soft hands right there. That is a tough play. And Kelly made it look routine.
Kelly has had, if I'm not mistaken, 3 plays he's handled unassisted.
There you see it right there. I tell you what, when you're backhanding that ball with the spin that comes off of it down the first base line and make it look that easy, you got a good piece of leather on your hand.
Aquilati, the second baseman. He was forced at third in the 3rd inning in his last trip up. Bounding ball right through the middle for a base hit, and that is a 3rd hit off Bauer.
And the first hit for anybody in the top 7 in the Wake Forest order. The number 8 and 9 hitters have the 2 hits before that one.
0-3-0 for Wake. For Carolina, 1-4-1. That brings up Chase Voshell, the shortstop, hitting .332. Struck out in the 1st. Grounded the 2nd to 1st in the 4th. 6'2", 191-pounder. Throw over to 1st.
First team All-ACC shortstop.
Bauer will work from the stretch. First pitch to Voshell. Not there. 1-0. Wake Forest was really strong in their win over Seton Hall last night. Well, they weren't pleased in the ACC tournament the way they hit the ball, but they did. Line foul. They certainly did against Seton Hall. Wake Forest came up with 12 hits last night in the win over Seton Hall. 8 runs. Voshell, the man standing up there right now, Chase Voshell, was 2 for 5 with a run batted in and a run scored. Bauer, fastball on the corner.
Yeah, when you think of the ACC, of course, you think Florida State. You also think Clemson and Georgia Tech, but Wake Forest has over the last 3 years more conference wins than any of those three except for Florida State.
Wake back-to-back titles in the ACC, 98-99.
And Greer, George Greer, the coach, he's the winningest Wake Forest coach in history in any sport. Yeah.
Bauer from the stretch and a 1-2 pitch. Nubber. McHenry's got a hustle. Scoops it, throws it. Out number 2.
Really the only play McHenry had. That ball was again right on the fist. Just sawed him off. Did get some metal on it, as you'll watch right here. Watch this right off the fist. Ouch. Good play by McHenry. Takes his time, makes a true throw, gets him by half a step.
South Carolina's made only 85 errors on the season. They pick it pretty clean most of the time. Bauer's pitch fastball inside, misses to Danny Burrell.
Another one of those situations where you need a key 2-out hit. In a big game like this, we saw Liberty do it a couple of times early to get the momentum in the first game. Bauer's going to try to bear down.
1-0 from Bauer. Foul down the first base side. Anxious to get a check if we can on that thermometer down there that showed almost 112. I guess that's, you know, you'd hope that's heat index. But I think it's straight heat, don't you? Straight temperature from where it was positioned.
I'm sure it was.
1-1. Bauer checks a runner at second, delivers, swung on, line shot into the gap. This will tie the ball game. And it's a double. Macbeth will gun it into McHenry. And it's a tie ball game.
14th double of the year for Danny Burrell, and a big one it is. Ties this game at 1, and Wake Forest still with a runner in scoring position with 2 outs. And Dan Conway comes to the plate. He's got 14 home runs this year, so right now Bauer has to bear down.
Aquilani scores. Each team now with 4 hits, and Jerry Myers, the Carolina pitching coach, calls time and wants to go out and talk with his big right-hander. Baseball is such a chess match, and it certainly is with pitchers, especially if they're throwing well.
It is, and right now Bauer's just run into a little bump in the road, and Wake is a good team. You know, you're gonna make a mistake or two. You just hope you don't make any in a row, which is what's happened right here. You saw the close-up of Bauer a moment ago and see how wet his hair is. There's a great shot of it right there. He is losing a lot of water by the moment. And as we said earlier, a big guy like he is sometimes will not fare quite as well in the heat as somebody a little bit smaller. So whether he can continue to throw at the level he has been in this weather is going to be a factor in this game.
Brings up the catcher Dan Conway. Hard ground ball, big hop to Meyer, bobbles it, flips it to Kelly, and the side is retired. But not after. Wake ties the game in the top of the 6th. 1-1 is our score. 1 run, 4 hits, no errors for Wake. 1 run, 4 hits, 1 error for Carolina. Don't go anywhere. This one is interesting.
I think it's a hard thing sometimes for parents to really have an intimate talk with their children, to say, this is what can happen when you use drugs. I can't speak for the rest of the world, but what has worked so far in my family is being honest with each other, totally honest. You want their world to seem like babes in toyland, but all we can do is talk with our kids about drugs, because not only could it kill someone you love, it could kill you, and that ain't the cool way to go, you know.
We've been looking at these new satellite dishes.
The more we look, the more questions I have. So, when they install this thing, let me get this right. Some people that I don't even know, who are they, are going to come to my house and nail this dish into my roof.
Is this true?
I have to pay for the dish.
And then I have to find someone to install it and pay for that.
And I've got to pay for somebody to repair it.
Why do I have to pay for maintenance and repairs? I just want things simple.
Satellite TV isn't all it's dished up to be.
That's exactly what I thought.
We're back here at Starge Fry Field as we go to the bottom of the 6th. Let's take a look at the play that ended the inning. You see the bad hop that actually turns into a good hop as Drew Meyer picks it up chest high and makes the throw to just barely get the runner to end the inning. That ball was really hit hard and was hugging the ground right as it hit the cut of the grass, where the grass turns into dirt in the infield. It actually hit something and came up, and Meyer made a good reaction and made a good play.
Bottom of the 6th, Carolina and Wake tied at 1-1. Nate Janowitz. And there's Drew Meyer, who made that last put out of the inning. Janowitz will be the leadoff hitter. He is grounded second to first and popped out. The short, shallow center field, and he's due. Janowitz last night 0 for 2, though he did draw 3 base on balls and scored a run. Struck out twice. He had been on fire all the way through the Southeastern Conference Tournament. Birmingham. Line drive, 1 hop. Great play by the second baseman Aquilani to retire Janowitz.
I tell you what, there are some people picking it out there today. There's some excellent defense going on behind these two pitchers who were throwing very well, but that, again, watch this. Nice close-up. Watch Aquilani stay down on it, make a nice play, take his time.
Beautiful.
That's by the books right there.
Friend, if you love baseball, you got to love this one. Off-speed pitch is on the corner to Meyer for a strike. It's 0-1.
Don't see a whole lot of 1-1 pitchers duels in college baseball in the 6th inning.
No, you don't. But a great game so far. Almost gets Meyer. Evens the count at 1 apiece. There's 1 down. Again, the great play to retire Janowitz by Aquilani, the Deeks' second sacker. Meyer with the open stance, watches it sail outside. 2-1. Meyer swung on and missed to even the count at 2-2. Have 1 man up and still throwing in the Wake bullpen. No need really to have anyone up yet for Carolina, though. The pitching coach Jerry Myers did come out and talk with Bauer last inning. Shot foul down the first base side. Stays at 2-2.
Of course, South Carolina has had an incredible year to this point, and just doing a quick check through the results of the games this year, what I come up with is 9-2 in 1-run games, and that's how you win 53 games.
Meyer hitting at .322. Count goes full. Drew Meyer 2 for 3 last night, scored a run and knocked 1 in. Walked twice, struck out once. Full count to Meyer. Here it comes, swung on and missed.
Another great pitch right there by Schmidt. Looked like, kind of acted like a circle change. It was kind of fading away from Meyer, and he just kind of waved at it. You'll see it right here. Watch it go away. Just didn't get a good swing on that at all. Thought it was coming inside and then tried to adjust. Couldn't do it.
Got that as Schmidt's 4th strikeout. Schmidt to Dees. In there for a strike.
And if you watch Dees, you can just see he gets a little more gimpy each time he comes up there. He is gingerly walking on that ankle. As you're right, it's probably swelling on it.
Breaking pitch, hit hard. Dees, goodbye. Carolina's got the lead back on a solo shot from Brennan Dees, the junior college transfer out of Montgomery, Alabama. We had a question as to whether he would play, Jeff. We talked about it in the pregame. Playing on a gimpy ankle, that makes it feel a lot better. He opened the game on his first trip to the plate, first pitch with a single, and now unloads to give Carolina back the lead at 2-1.
Well, if you're going to go to Omaha, you got to have performances like that somewhere down the road, and the Gamecocks are a long way from there. But I tell you what, this kid, you got to admire his guts, because you can tell he's hurting. Watch it right here. Up in the zone, a hanging curveball, and he just tattooed it. And watch this. Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
Price, the left fielder, took about 1 step back and just turned. He knew it was gone.
No, he just got all of that one. Hanging curveball. It's a batter's best friend.
2 away, Brandon Pack. Check swing. off the umpire's chest protector. Says, I didn't like that one. Let me get a new ball. Maybe off his hand, too.
Look from the shot that might have actually bounced off the ground and right up into his hand. He sure moved it in a hurry.
Brandon Pack hitting at .318. Stands in on Schmidt. Swung on. Hit hard to first. Can they make the play? No. Pack is on. Hard ground ball to the first baseman, Athos. It'll be ruled an error. So Pack is on with 2 down. And for Wake, it's their second error of the game.
Well, and it's one of those times in the game, as you watch right here, ball just came off the heel of his glove. If he would have gotten out of the way, I believe Aquilani could have probably picked it up and thrown out Pack as the pitcher Schmidt was over to cover.
Now we've got time as they'll come out and talk with Eric Schmidt and give the bullpen a chance to work a little bit more down there. He has pitched so well. Of course, he gave up just moments ago the solo home run to Brennan Dees, and then a chance to get out of the inning, but he doesn't get any help. Hard hit ground ball to first. Athos can't handle it on the shot from Pack, and Pack is on now with 2 down, and Carolina ahead 2-1. Every play, every pitch, every play of any kind is very big in a game like this.
Well, it is, and Carolina, as we talked about, has so many power hitters all the way through the lineup. And, you know, coming up now is Trey Dyson, who certainly is capable of hitting one out of here. And I think the coach just wanted to, you know, kind of settle Schmidt down a little. You know, he only needs 1 more out to get out of this inning, and a 2-1 game with, you know, 3 swings left for Wake is certainly not out of reach by any stretch of the imagination. He just wants to make sure that he makes some good pitches to Dyson right here, because if he makes a mistake to Dyson and he takes it out of the park, then you got a different situation.
Believe me, he's very capable of taking it out. Wind blowing hard right to left. Carolina ahead 2-1. Dyson up. Staring into Schmidt. Pitches on the way. Bounding ball to second. Bobble. Dyson's going to be safe. Pack safe at second. That is not Schmidt's fault. He's not getting help now.
No, it certainly isn't. The first one that Athos missed was hit very hard. That's a routine ground ball right there. And Aquilani, as you'll watch it right here, who made a great play a moment ago, circles and just takes his eye off the ball for a moment.
That's back-to-back errors for Wake.
It sure is.
That brings up Trip Kelly. Flat out to left and then struck out. Birthday boy stands up there, breaking pitch, swung on and missed.
Great pitch by Schmidt. He knew Kelly was going to be sitting on a first pitch fastball, threw in the changeup, and he was way out in front. And right now, Coach Tanner going to call him over and have a word with him and maybe say, you know, you just need to relax, get your swing up there, and get us a base hit.
Kelly last night 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts. But great in the field.
Now he is, but he's having trouble at the plate. And I think Tanner did a good thing right there after that first swing where he didn't look very good. He called him over, had a good talk, looked like a very positive conversation. Ray's done a great job with this team.
Kelly 0-1. Schmidt from the stretch with runners at first and second. Fastball outside. Couldn't get him to bite on it. Kelly hitting .296.
Now, with a team like South Carolina, you can only give them so many extra outs, and they're going to make you pay for it. And Schmidt trying to get out of a tough jam here.
1-1 delivery. Hit hard. High fly ball. Back on the warning track and gone! Ball hit a mile high and just kept carrying Kelly. Birthday boy. His 21st birthday will be memorable as he hits a 3-run job over the left field wall to give the Carolina Gamecocks a 5-1 lead over the Deacs.
And I'll guarantee you that Jason Aquilani is wanting to find some place where he can go hide. You know, you got to feel bad for the kid. He's had a great year for the Demon Deacons. He makes an error, and as I said, just before that, as you watch it go, you cannot give the #1 team in the nation too many extra outs and get away with it. And right there, you saw a great example as Trip Kelly just got enough to get it out over the fence, and with the wind, That made the difference. He got it up in the jet stream.
Like to know what Ray Tanner said to him.
Oh, yeah. Wouldn't that be a great question later on?
He probably told him a joke knowing Ray Tanner. Schmidt. Ball popped up to short. That'll end the inning. Plummer pops up, but Carolina gets a 4 spot in the 6th. And now race out to a 5-1 lead on Wake Forest. Wake Forest will try to regroup. Coming back at you on CSN.
Don't worry about bad storms or Y2K. Now just a simple touch will light the way. Introducing Instant Touch Light. Affordable custom lighting at the touch of your fingers. You can easily light the shower. Now see what's under the sink or in the pantry. Light the closet exactly where you need it. With just a touch, you can light a hutch. Never be stranded at the bottom of the cellar stairs again. Don't be blinded by the light. With just a touch, you can see just right. They're always there when kids need them. A must for in the car or in the trunk. Custom light walkways and dangerous dark stairs. Perfect for all holiday decorations. Order now and get 6 Instant Touch Lights with a 30-day risk-free guarantee for only $14.95. Order Instant Touch Lights for $14.95 right now.
To order your Instant Touch Light system, call 1-800-521-9993 or send a check or money order to Instant Touch Light, 1008 Peck Street, Nashville, Tennessee, 37206.
What an inning for South Carolina, and what an inning for Wake Forest. Schmidt had done a great job. Dees hits a solo home run, kind of starts it off, and then back-to-back errors from the first baseman and second baseman, and then Trip Kelly, who had not had a hit in a while, hits a 3-run blast over the left field wall to stake Carolina now out to a 5-1 lead.
You got to feel bad for Eric Schmidt. He really pitched his heart out there, and it should be a 2-1 ball game. He did make the mistake and gave up the home run with 2 outs, but you know, then 2 errors in the field behind him, and then he makes a mistake, and you know, Kelly got just enough of it to get it over the wall, which is, I think, what, 325 right down the line, and it went about 327.
There's the Wake Forest dugout. And it was 1-1 there, and looked like it might be that way for a long time. And then the Gamecocks come up with 4 runs in the 6th inning as we move to the top of the 7th. And the first hitter for the Demon Deacons of Wake Forest will be a pinch hitter, Stephen Sullivan. Stephen Sullivan from Bridgewater, New Jersey, a senior, 6'2", 194, played in 42 games, hitting from the left side against Bauer, and he looks at a strike. He got a key hit in the late inning rally to beat North Carolina in the ACC tournament. There it is again. 2 pitches in the same place from Bauer. And Sullivan's down 0-2.
And if he throws a 3rd one right there, Sullivan's in trouble, because I don't think you can hit that pitch.
Bauer, same place, but this time a bit low off Pack Shengard.
Don't forget that the Demon Deacons, even if they cannot come back, are certainly not dead. They'll play later on tonight.
Bauer's pitch, fastball, hit the opposite way as Stephen Sullivan couldn't get around on it. He's working that corner in the outside part of the plate.
Well, Bauer's pitched very well, and he's pitched as well. I mean, he throws hard, but he hits his spots.
1-2 delivery from Bauer. Couldn't get him to bite on it. 2-2. Bauer with a 4-hitter going, and then ball is high. Count runs to 3-2 after Sullivan was down 0-2. And Eric Schmidt has a 6-hitter going. Full count pitch. Popped him up. Here comes Macbeth in. Janowitz drifts over. Janowitz will take it for the first out of the inning.
And the big difference with the hits, though, Charlie, 3 of those South Carolina hits left the yard, and they add up in a hurry.
That'll bring up Carlos Brackley, the right fielder. Five, 6, and 1 for Carolina. 1, 4, and 2 for the Deacons of Wake Forest. Big right-hander stands in against a bigger right-hander, and he pops it out of play. Foul back. In high school, Brackley was named the '97 New Jersey American Legion MVP. Bauer's pitch right down the pipe. Farrell and Bream warming up in the bullpen for Wake Forest. Oh, 2 pitch. Outside, wide, 1 and 2. The wind, the kick, the delivery, misses outside. 2-2.
Brackley's a good-looking kid. 6'2", 220, out of Hamilton, New Jersey. Looks like he wouldn't have any trouble getting one out of here either.
Bauer with 4 Ks. This ball is grounded toward Plummer. Nice pickup. Fires to first. Got it. Plummer with a Brooks Robinson type play. 2 away.
I tell you, he had to get that ball or it's a base hit. Watch the soft hands. Boom. And a good strong throw right on the money. Gets in easily. It looks easy, but it's not.
He makes it look easy.
He really does.
One-0 pitch coming to Jamie Athis, the first baseman for Wake Forest, who made one of those errors in the last inning. Ground ball, Meyer knocks it down, comes up throwing, not in time. That was in the hole and deep and back on the grass, and yes, it is ruled to hit as it should be.
Now, it certainly is. Good job by Meyer. He's got a lot of range. That can turn into a huge play. If you've got a runner at second base, it can save a run right here. Just good hustle.
Good look at Drew Meyer. Dodgers wanted him to play as a center fielder. Ray Tanner says no, he's coming here as a shortstop. We think he can play shortstop at the next level as well. Just a freshman. Bauer from the stretch. Throws it home. Ball. 1-0 to Corey Slavic.
Meyer just barely scratching the surface on what he can do. We talked about his base running and his base stealing with good speed. Hasn't really turned into a great base stealer yet, but should later on.
Very determined look from the hitter. And it's right there on the black once again. It evens the count at 1-1. Carolina with a 4 spot in the 6th. They lead at 5-1 over the Demon Deacons of Wake Forest. Bauer from the stretch. Delivers. Yes, sir. 1-2.
Say what I'd love to do is find out what Peter Bauer weighed before he started and then put him on the scale after this one's over. I'll bet he'll drop 8, 10, 12 pounds today.
I was going to say 12. Wouldn't be surprised.
No.
2 away. 1-2 pitch. Crowd will tell you. Hit into center. Macbeth. Got it. Side retired. So we move on to the top of the 7th. Carolina leading Wake Forest 5-1. You're watching college baseball at its best on CSS. We'll come back to Columbia, South Carolina in just a moment.
I think you have to realize who you are as a person, you know, who you are as a child of God, that your potential is just so much greater than any chemical substance. You know, drugs, they destroy people, they destroy lives, they destroy families. You know, I'm soon to be a mother, you know, and these are things I think about. Please stay positive and stay away from the drugs because, you know, there's no place positive you can get with that route.
Southeast, a regional sports network currently available only to Comcast and Charter Cable customers. CSS delivers hard-to-find programming for the serious sports enthusiast, college baseball, football, and basketball. the best in minor league baseball and hockey. Put yourself in the middle of the action as CSS brings you entertaining highlights, informative interviews, and the best in Southeast sports coverage. CSS is unique Comcast charter programming and your source for sports in the Southeast.
Number 1 seed in the country in the NCAA tournament, the South Carolina Gamecocks, proving just that as they hold a 5-1 lead over Wake Forest as we move on to the Carolina 7th. And for Wake Forest, got a new guy on the hill. Ryan Braun with a 3.58 ERA and a record of 3-3.
Actually making his return after having Tommy John surgery this year. So a young man they hope to get a lot more from. Saw action in 6 games early as a backup catcher to Dan Conway. Now is also pitching. Had 6 perfect innings in relief against North Carolina back in April. 3-3 record so far this season.
Brahm's first hitter to face will be Marcus McBeth, who made the final putout of the last inning. Gathered in the line drive off the bat of Slantic. McBeth has grounded to short both times. Fastball, bounder to short. Bushell guns, close play, but got it. So 3 straight times McBeth has grounded out to the shortstop.
And I'll guarantee if you put all 3 of them together, he's still not out by a full stride. He has really made them close.
That'll bring up Johnny Mack. John McHenry from Sparks, Nevada. Played at Sparks High School, Saracosa Junior College in California. He was a California JC All-American. Ball high, 1-0.
Final book on Eric Schmidt. He threw 6 innings, gave up 6 hits, 5 runs, only 2 of those earned, didn't walk a batter and struck out 4.
1-0 pitch. Caught the corner fastball to McHenry, evens it at 1-1. There's 1 away, bottom of the 7th. Carolina trying to make it 2-0 here in the NCAA Regional in Columbia. Holding on to the 4-run advantage on Wake Forest. But tough play. McHenry, I think, should get a hit on that one. Pitcher tried to barehand it. It took a short hop. Difficult play to make, and it is a hit for McHenry.
His second bunt hit of the day. Would have been a very tough play for Braun anyway. We'll look at it from a different angle right here. He's going away from McHenry. If he even barehands that ball, he's got a tough time planting and throwing him out.
Ryan Braun set to throw to Nate Janowitz. Grounded out to second twice and lined out to center. Standing in, hitting at .337. Runner at first, McHenry, 1 down. Pitch to Janowitz. McHenry goes. Here's the throw to second, way wide, and he gets away, and McHenry's going to go to third. So McHenry gets a stolen base, and then on the bad throw to second, he advances to third in scoring position with just 1 down. And Janowitz has yet to have been thrown to at the plate.
You're probably going to give an error to the catcher Conway on the throw. We'll look at it right here. Got a good pitch to handle. Look at it from a different angle. Good jump by McHenry. You see the throw to the first base side. Quite a bit to the first base side, actually.
.1-0 pitch to Jano. Swung on, hit into center field. That should get McHenry home. Caught by Sullivan. Here comes Johnny Mack. He gets down. And Carolina now leads it 6-1 over Wake Forest on the deep sac fly to center. And once again, Wake Forest defense let him down.
Could turn into an unearned run. Don't know yet to see what happens. But pretty good job by Jano. His job right there is either hit it to the right side or get it to the outfield, and he did the latter. No time at bat, RBI.
Here's Drew Meyer. Call strike. Meyer's second hitter of the game, solo home run to jumpstart the Gamecocks. Looks at another strike, 0-2.
He's had a tough time since then with 2 Ks, but he certainly did get the team off and running in the first. The run stood up for a long time.
Meyer looks at an 0-2. Grounded down the third baseline. Clint Collins up and throwing in the Carolina bullpen, a young man who they were counting on in the Southeastern Conference Tournament Birmingham, but came up with arm problems. But understand he is okay now. Meyer stays alive. Had to take a swing at that one too close to the corner not to swing.
Yeah, great job of just wasting a pitch right there as he's waiting for a mistake. You get 2 strikes, just have to battle.
Low, it's 1-2. Bob Braun came on after Eric Schmidt, who pitched very well for Wake. Had to come out. Don't know whether it was arm problems or just the situation he was in, but he did a very good job considering. Ball is outside, evens the count at 2-2. We've got 2 away. South Carolina with a 6-1 lead on Wake Forest. We're in the bottom of the 7th. 7 hits for the Gamecocks, 5 for the Demons. The Demon Deacons. Inside, Meyer walks. Had the scoreboard fouled up there unless he was hit. Now the plate umpire is going to call him back. Meyer evidently thought he was hit. So evidently the scoreboard was right. And Meyer was wrong. Nor did he get hit. Drew's going to ask him. Don't know what he asked him. And get a good look at it there. Check some more scores.
In Tallahassee, Florida State and Central Florida tied at 2 in the top of the 6th.
Meyer, ground ball right back to the pitcher. That'll retire the side. But Carolina gets a run in the 7th and ups its lead to 6-1 on Wake Forest. Coming down the home stretch. Carolina trying to pick up 2 wins here at home in the NCAA Regional in Columbia, South Carolina.
My name's Anthony Sullivan, and here's another great invention for around the house. It's called the Tap Light. Just tap and you've got light. Tap Light conveniently sits or mounts anywhere. You can wall mount tap lights as well for places where you need just a little extra illumination but don't have a light fixture, like this closet. Tap Light gives you the right light where and when you want it, and use it to illuminate a dark stairwell or provide light for an outdoor party or walkway. Tap Light can even replace a broken interior light in a car and is safer than candles for a storm that knocks out the power supply. Similar lights cost up to $10 each. Call now and you'll get 4 Tap Lights for $19.95. But if you call in the next 10 minutes as part of this special introductory offer, we'll include an extra 2 Tap Lights free. That's 6 Tap Lights for $19.95. So call the number on the bottom of your screen right now.
Remember, call in the next 10 minutes to get 6 Tap Lights for the amazing price of only $19.95. This offer won't last. Have your credit card ready and call 1-800-979-4242. That's 1-800-979-4242.
Welcome back as we move on to the Wake Forest 8th, top of the 8th. Wake Forest down to Carolina, 6-1. 6 outs left. Can Carolina and Peter Bauer, who's gone all the way, ring them up and pick up win number 2 here?
Some more scores. Clemson leads Illinois 3-2, top of the 7th. That being played at Clemson. Georgia Tech all over Stetson, 11-0, bottom of the 6th.
Corey Sullivan, the hitter, fouls it out of play to the right.
Defending national champion Miami leads Florida Atlantic 3-1 in the bottom of the 1st. Florida State and Central Florida, as we said, tied at 2, top of the 6th. Mississippi State leads Notre Dame 2-0 in the top of the 2nd. Louisiana Lafayette's jumped out 1-0 over East Carolina, top of the 3rd, down in Lafayette, Louisiana.
Line, the kick and the stroke from Bauer, and it's fouled. Down the left side, Janowitz will retrieve it, and the count is 0-2.
More scores down in Baton Rouge. LSU's jumped out on New Orleans 2-0 top of the 2nd. UCLA leads Oklahoma in the bottom of the 1st 5-0. Florida has defeated Baylor 10-1 in Waco, and Houston leads Rice 1-0 top of the 2nd.
Powers 0-2 pitch, swung on, hit to Plummer, pats it, guns it. Kelly makes the catch. There's one down.
Bowers certainly has received better support than Schmidt did today, as this Carolina defense has been all over everything that's been hit their way. This is pretty routine right here. Plummer gets the nice big hop, sets, makes the throw, no problem.
Plummer has made some spectacular catches, has committed 16 errors on the season, had a couple last night. Meyer has committed the most errors, 24. You'd expect that from a freshman shortstop. He, too, though, has made some unbelievable plays from the 6th position. Line shot up by Meyer. He knocks it down. That should be too hot to handle. Base hit.
He did a great job just to get a glove on that. I thought that was a clean base hit, and he came pretty close to getting that ball.
I get to go out. Don't know why I do this. My wife says you're stupid to do it, but still go out and I take ground balls and double plays with them. So I get to see the way the ball comes off these aluminum bats. And when I say line drive, even though it's a bounce or two, trust me, it is a line drive type shot. To Plummer on one hop to second. McHenry on to first, and Killing, inning over. Carolina just 3 outs away from going undefeated in this NCAA regional at their home park, Sarge Fry Field. It's 6-1 Carolina. We're coming back at you. The best in college baseball on CSS.
This is your brain. You ever feel prickly things on the back of your neck? That's them.
Don't move. Don't make a sound.
I see dead people. They're everywhere.
Nominated for 6 Academy Awards, including Best Picture and Best Director.
You're the only one who can help me, I know it.
See the world television premiere of The Sixth Sense in demand.
Please make them leave.
Pay-per-view for the demanding viewer. You roll.
Everybody needs somebody to love.
Someone to love.
I need you. Sometimes I feel really flat inside. Everybody laugh with me. You know I'm always gonna keep it satisfied.
The Drew Carey Show.
Ends the inning with a 5-4-3 double play and keeps Wake Forest scoreless since the 6th inning. It is 6-1 Carolina. Scored a run in the 1st, 4 in the 6th, 1 in the 7th. Total of 7 hits.
Still should be a 3-1 ball game if Wake Forest can play catch, which they didn't in that 4-run inning when they gave up 3 unearned runs. But, Carolina's made the most of their opportunities as you look. Carolina left 2 runners on in the 1st. They've not stranded a runner since. Only 2 left on base. Wake Forest has stranded 5 in the ball game, so not a whole lot of base runners. Some pretty good pitching.
Brennan Dees gets a big hand. What a day he's had playing on a bad ankle. Wondering if he would play at all, but has he? You bet. Takes the strike on the first pitch from Braun. Brennan Dees a single in the 1st, solo home run in the 6th. Breaking pitch, going for the fence again, missed that one badly. Breaking pitch outside.
Now, I think Brennan's decided he's either going to hit it out or he's going to get out because he doesn't want to run on that ankle anymore today.
0-2 pitch, swung on, grounded to third. Slavic with a throw over and tags out Dees. No way he could slide or extend to hit that bag hard. Could have broken his ankle.
Well, I mean, for Brennan right now, he just needs, as you watch the play again, good play by first baseman Jamie Athis putting the tag on. You can see Dees. He's not trying to get fancy. He just like to get to tomorrow.
Get in for treatment.
Yep.
Lots of it.
Well,
and he will have lots of it.
He'll be there all night, probably.
Brandon Pack will stand in. He has faced two right-handers today, so he is hit from the left side all afternoon long. First pitch is a ball to him. He's hitting .323. Struck out in the first, grounded to second, and reached on an error in the sixth. In there for a strike. It's 1-1.
Well, Carolina's made their hits count. We mentioned a minute ago, and they've also made errors hurt. And that's the key for great ball clubs.
Outside, 2-1.
The team gives you an extra out. You need to try to make them pay for it. I'll tell you what, Trip Kelly made him pay for it with that big 3-run homer. That's really the key shot in this game.
Braun winds and fires. Fastball hit toward left. Going to be a tough play. It is in there, into the corner, hits the wall, and Pack with a stand-up double with one down here in the 8th inning. So Brandon Pack get his first hit of the ball game.
Certainly is, and with more games coming for Carolina, as you watch him go the other way right here, just kind of sliced it. Left fielder Sullivan thought that he had that ball for a moment, but it kept slicing away from him. Turned into a fairly routine double for Pack.
For Pack, his 22nd double in the year. In scoring position with one down, that brings up Trey Dyson. Big left-hander. Dean's List student. Fastball in there for a strike. It's 0-1. Dyson hitting at .325. From the stretch, Braun checks Pack and delivers. Way outside. Conway stayed with it.
Adam Heaps has gone down to the bullpen to warm up for Wake.
1-1 is the count. 6-1 is the score. Carolina 8 hits, and now time is called. Have to have a conversation with young Bob Braun.
Perhaps to give just a little time for
No.
Mr. Heaps to warm up.
Never happened. Mention the crowds here. Last night, 5,500 to watch South Carolina play Liberty. Of course, they've set attendance records here. 35 playing dates prior to this game. Now up to 105,000 plus, and probably 109,000, 110,000 after this game. Braun stays.
You've been here before. How many do you think are here this afternoon? I say you've been here before. You live here.
That's right. Say 5, maybe 5,200. Pitch is low and in the dirt. 2-1. Say a pretty solid 5.
I'd buy that. Don't see quite as many hanging off every possible place, but good solid crowd, that's for sure.
2-1. Bluff throw to second. Pack dives back. In that huge 4-run inning in the 6th, with Kelly blasting a 3-run homer after solo shot, and then 2 straight errors by the Wake Forest first and second baseman with 2 down. 2-1 pitch with 1 down here from the stretch. Braun inside to Dyson. 3-1.
How do you think the showing in the SEC tournament for South Carolina, where they dropped their first game to Kentucky, was something that kind of shook them up a little bit?
I think they played very, very late. Kentucky is a good team, but they bounced back to win the next 2 before being eliminated. I think they played that. Here is Dyson to center, fielded. Pack won't go. Sullivan throws it in, so Dyson is retired for the second out of the inning. But I really think playing so late in that first game and having the bullseye on your back and then playing early the next day and playing a game after that, pulling it out to win, kind of took a lot out of them. They looked very tired, not as sharp mentally nor physically in that last game as they were eliminated by Florida.
Right.
Then Florida played a heck of a game against LSU in the championship game, and LSU won it on a grand slam home run.
Pretty good baseball in Birmingham.
Not too shabby.
I know this sounds cliche.
Popped up. Should be the third out of the inning. Drifting over the left fielder. Price makes the play. Side retired. Move on to the top of the ninth. South Carolina 3 outs away from taking another one here in the NCAA Regional in Columbia. Home folks would love nothing better.
Hey, Ellen, want a hit?
Want to smoke a joint before trying this on?
Here you go, Ellen. You want to get high? We got some great Thai stick in the back.
Smoke. Kind buds. Sexy. You're gonna love this stuff. It'll get you really high.
Can I have a puppy? What do you mean Ground's never coming back? Why does he get to stay up? Where do babies come from?
Did you smoke marijuana when you were my age?
The older they get, the more complicated the questions. Here's how to answer.
3 outs away from picking up the win. They lead Wake Forest 6-1, and Peter Bauer's gone all the way. Hope we'll get a pitch count pretty soon on Bauer. It's almost elementary unless Wake gets a rally going.
Now, I'd say they'd stay with him for a little while anyway. You know, conserving pitching is huge. And, you know, the team that wins this game is in such a better position. I mean, really, it makes you the odds-on favorite to win, because even if you lose the first game tomorrow, the team you're going to play the second time is going to certainly be well into their bullpen.
If Peter Bauer picks up the win, he's going to pick up the win anyway, unless there's a huge rally by Wake. It would be only his second complete game of the year. Danny Burrell, the DH, will stand in. He doubled to left center, picked up an RBI back in the 6th. Pitch from Bauer is wide. 6-1 Carolina.
When you got Barber and Price down in the bullpen, you don't have to throw a lot of complete games.
Pitch is low. Count goes 2-0. Good look at Danny Burrell. Great looking youngster. And a great looking piece of hitting. Macbeth will run it down at the wall. Macbeth throws it into second on the fly. Actually, one hop to McHenry and a stand-up double. Second of the day for Danny Burrell. Nobody out.
Well, I would think Ray Tanner would have somebody heating up in the bullpen right now, and just as I say that, we see somebody heading that way. Good piece of hitting right there, as you mentioned. A shot right to the alley in left center. Macbeth, with no chance to get it, did make a strong throw, as you'll see it coming in right here. Made that a halfway close play.
Clint Collins will go back to the bullpen. Bauer from the stretch. Checks Burrell. Puts it right in there, right down the heart. 1-1. Dan Conway hitting at .322. Swung on and missed. 1-2.
I think the action in the bullpen has inspired Mr. Bauer. I think he'd like to take care of this himself.
Conway will adjust the gloves and stand in. Stare down Bauer. Look at a 1-2 count. Fastball was low in the dirt. And the runner will go to third, Burrell. So Burrell in scoring position with nobody out.
And really, at this point, Bauer just needs to forget that Burrell's even there. I mean, as far as he's concerned, he does not exist. He needs to get the batter, go from the full windup, and just try to put this one in the book for South Carolina. Pack, you see, tried to get out in front of that one, but it got by him. Curveballs in the dirt sometimes take 20 bounces.
Conway, 2-2 pitch. Got him. Couldn't check the swing. He knew he was rung up. Strikeout for Bauer. First out of the inning. That'll bring up number 4, Stephen Sullivan. 5 strikeouts now for Bauer. 1 down. First pitch to Stephen Sullivan, in there for a strike. Bauer now with 95 strikeouts on the year. 0-1 pitch. Foul back to the screen, 0-2.
You know, Charlie, it's kind of tough for Wake, assuming they don't come back to overcome this 6-1 advantage. I mean, Liberty's had some time to rest between games. They're going to have to turn right around and play with about an hour's rest.
Bauer's pitch swung on and missed. That is strikeout number 6 on the day for the large item, Peter Bauer.
What a nasty, nasty pitch that was. Right in on the fist. He didn't have a chance.
Burrell led off the inning with a double to left center, then advanced to third on a wild pitch from Bauer. But then Bauer's bowed his neck and struck out the next 2, Conway and Sullivan. Thrown 8 2/3, 7 hits, 6 Ks, no walks. Bauer, breaking ball, swing and a miss by Brackley.
He's on cruise control right now, Charlie. He is feeling it out there. He'd like to get to a cold shower, I believe.
Bauer and this team, much like sharks in the water off the coast of Carolina, smelling blood. Bauer's pitch, breaking ball, swung on and missed, strike 2.
Well, you can watch him from this close-up you're seeing right here. He is working hard. You see him breathing very hard. And this crowd right now is giving him that little extra charge of adrenaline. He needs to finish this one up for Carolina.
0-2. Bauer takes a deep breath. Going to the 300 hitter Brackley. The pitch outside. 1-2.
Tidway's pitch right there. That was a slider, slow curve outside. Tried to make him fish. I think you'll see him try to take care of business right here.
1-2 from Bauer. It's there. Rung him up. Game over. Carolina wins over Wake 6-1 on a 7-hitter from Peter Bauer, who throws his second complete game of the season. And he struck out the last 3 to do it. Incredible effort by Peter Bauer and the Carolina Gamecocks. And this was a very close ball game until that 4-run 6th inning out of Carolina.
Well, it sure was, Charlie. Just a few errors by Wake. You get the #1 team in the nation, and you give them 2 extra outs in an inning, put a couple of guys on base, and you get a guy like Trip Kelly, who's had a rough time of it, certainly was due. And, I mean, he had the big hit of the day for the Gamecocks, put this game pretty much out of reach. And then Peter Bauer, what can you say about him? Incredible performance, a complete game, 7-hitter, does not walk a batter, and strikes out the side in the 9th. A great performance.
So South Carolina picks up its 2nd win in this NCAA regional, opening it up last night with a win over Liberty 6-4, and then this afternoon beating Wake Forest, the #2 seed, 6-1. We're coming right back at you from Columbia, South Carolina to wrap it up. You're watching the best in college baseball on CSS.
CSS is Comcast Charter Sports Southeast, a regional sports network currently available only to Comcast and Charter cable customers. CSS delivers hard-to-find programming for the serious sports enthusiast. College baseball, football, and basketball. The best in minor league baseball and hockey. Put yourself in the middle of the action as CSS brings you entertaining highlights, informative interviews, and the best in Southeast sports coverage. CSS is unique Comcast charter programming and your source for sports in the Southeast.
So the sales guy at this local satellite dish place tells us, good news because we can now get local channels.
They do, but not all of them.
When they say local stations, they don't mean everything.
And I have to pay extra, and I have to pay extra every month.
Every month.
Every month.
Who decides which local channels I get?
They choose what local channels. So I have to pay extra for them, but I don't get to pick them.
So what am I paying for?
Satellite TV isn't all it's dished up to be.
I spent a lot of time with this guy, but
I don't think he knew what he was talking about.
Jeff Jacoby along with Charlie Mack Alexander back at Sarge Fry Field, where the South Carolina Gamecocks have advanced to the finals of this regional tournament that they're hosting here in Columbia, South Carolina. They defeat Wake Forest 6-1 this afternoon. The Demon Deacons, after playing 9 tough innings in heat at or above 100 degrees with high humidity, will have to turn around in just about an hour and 45 minutes and take on the Liberty Flames for a shot back at Carolina in tomorrow's final game here, which will take place at 1 o'clock. Should Carolina win that game, the tournament would be over and they would advance to the Super Regional. Should the losers bracket winner, which would be either Liberty or Wake Forest, beat the Gamecocks in Game 1, there would be a second game later on tomorrow afternoon, and the winner of that one then would move on to the Super Regional round. And of course, after that, the College World Series in Omaha. And Charlie, what a great game this was, and South Carolina certainly living up to advanced billing, and Peter Bauer with an outstanding performance, and they look poised and ready to maybe take the next step.
Solo home run from Drew Meyer for the winners. Solo home run from Brennan Dees, who really wasn't expected to play. Also got the 3-run job from Trip Kelly on his 21st birthday today. And then Bauer coming on like gangbusters to retire the last 3 hitters, Conway, Sullivan, and Brackley, to close it out, pick up his second complete game win of the season. And for Peter Bauer, well, it just keeps on rolling for him.
Burrell got the double to lead off the 9th, and right away Ray Tanner got somebody up in the bullpen, and it's just like Bauer looked over there and said, "Oh, no, you don't. This is my game." And boy, he went out after that and was just untouchable in the 9th.
Peter Bauer's record now goes to 13-1. It was a pleasure having you with us, and we hope you'll join us tomorrow for either 1 or 2 ball games right here in Columbia, South Carolina. For Jeff Jacoby, this is Charlie Mack Alexander. So long, everybody.